All right, so today we're here working with separation anxiety. So Bobo here is fairly new to the home. Bobo, say hi. Good boy. So Bobo's fairly new to the house. He's only been here for about 3 weeks, and he has been experiencing some separation anxiety. So what we want to do is just break this down into the smallest components possible to start to break the habit where he's used to always having the same things lead to the same consequence. So like everyone, his guardian has a fairly normal routine, putting on her shoes, grabbing her purse, coat, things like that before leaving. So before we started this video, we've already worked on quite a bit of this, meaning that she's been slowly just putting on her slippers, or taking her slippers off, putting her shoes on, taking her shoes back off, putting her slippers on, and coming back out in the room. So we've been breaking this down into little parts. But what we're gonna do now is just kind of walk through the process to show that we're going through the routine and we're drastically reducing his anxiety, and so the routine doesn't always signify that she's leaving. All right, let's head over this way. And before I started shooting this video, I wasn't following her to kind of create things to be as normal as possible. As you can see, usually he's been following the entire time, but he's actually getting more and more relaxed, so he's staying down the hallway. And so he's starting to relax much more. And then the guardian's gonna go, again, through her normal routine, and she's just grabbing her scarf, which is much needed in this weather. And again, so we're just keeping our eye on Bobo. Things that we'd want to look for is any type of whining, stress, like his body's really rigid, and panting behavior as indicators of stress, things like that. He's also increasing the distance between himself and his guardian while doing this, meaning that he's starting to feel more and more confident about her leaving without having to be right on her heels up the whole time. So go ahead and go down about half a flight of stairs and then come back up. Okay. And notice how he's staying calmer. He's actually coming back up the stairs, up his little doggy ramp. And he's not whining or displaying any types of real anxiety-driven behaviors. So just to keep things still broken up, why don't you take your coat off but keep your shoes on, and so we're not going back to the full starting place. Okay. And take your coat off, come back up here, and then we're gonna have you go down the stairs fully and then come back up. Okay. So again, he's following his guardian, but again, that's not too strange. Dogs typically follow us around the house, so that's not concerning at all. But we're also not seeing any of that excessive anxiety behavior. His tail's low and relaxed and hanging pretty loosely and comfortably. So go ahead and put your scarf back on. Okay.
Sometimes when I come, I just leave my coat here, so I'm gonna not go to the closet this time, but I'll grab the keys.
That's even better. As you work on this over time, keep changing up your routine to all the variations that you would do. So again, we're starting to make the routine less predictable about it meaning you always leave, and it starts building up the trust, because also every time you now walk through the door, you are leaving him,
right?
And he's learning that you're coming back.
Okay.
And so this is giving him shorter and shorter durations of you coming back.
Okay.
So he can start to build up the concept that you're going to come back, but it's not always going to take that long.
Okay.
Okay, so go ahead and this time go all the way to the bottom of the stairs. Perfect. And notice in the video that the guardian isn't petting him or doing anything to signify to him that he should get worked up too terribly far. So she's not going, oh my gosh, I'm gonna leave, and start talking to him too much or getting him worked up. He did whine once, but he did kind of calm himself down, which was excellent. And she's also not walking through the door and then praising him and getting him worked up. A lot of times, as a side note, something we didn't talk about yet off camera, but I want to make sure that I mention, if we come through the door and act too excited to greet our dogs, we're essentially teaching them that in order to see us again, they have to be that anxious and that excitable. Right. And that's kind of teaching them that they think they have to be anxious while we're gone in order for us to come back. So a great thing that she's doing right now is not getting overexcited and trying to get him worked up by going, oh my gosh, I miss you, oh my gosh, and like petting him and getting him into an anxiety-driven state. So this is all excellent. And what she'll want to do moving forward is to keep doing this at least once a day, if not multiple times a day, as much as she can. The more times she can do this in a day, the quicker he'll make progress, to the point where you're opening the garage door, closing it, coming back up, and keep increasing the amount of repetitions that you do that until he's overcome his separation anxiety. So that's how we're going to help Bobo here. Bobo, do you want to say bye?